What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Pigskin Picks. It's your host, Wayne Breezie. Mose knows we are back to give you a quick recap on how last week went. I'm just not getting right. I'm not catching up to Mose. I think he got me dead to rights. You can see the record right there. My 52 and 41, and you're 59 and 34. Sounds about right. And hopefully I can play some catch up modes. We got 6 teams on a bye this week, and so let's see how your picking is going to go in the pigskin picks. Everything good with you today, bro?
Yeah, man, long day. We talked about it off camera, but everything is good, man. Glad to be here. Let's get these picks going, man. Hard to believe we're already a third of the way through the season, man. If you break the season up in the third of 18 weeks, 6 weeks, that's a third of the way through. That's
Third of the
crazy,
way
man. It's
through.
moving by fast.
Your math is math, and let's get right down. Thursday night football, week 7, Jaguars, the Saints. Um, Go ahead, man. Who you going with?
Um, what I thought happened. The Jags went to their home away from home, got two straight wins, came back to their regular home, got another win. So it looks like they found some momentum. They're putting some things together. That defense is starting to come alive. And right now, Saints offensively, they really don't scare anybody. I know they can beat anybody because they do have a good defense. I feel like the Jags are just finding ways to win right now. So I'm gonna stick with them. I'm gonna go Jaguars.
Yeah, this one is tough for me. Like you got Trevor Lawrence dealing with a knee injury. Is he going to be able to come out here? They're running the ball very well. The Saints defense looks okay, but they're going to be dealing with. They got some injuries that they're dealing with as well. Even though that they're at home, I think the Jaguars are just a hotter team. They found their stroke into winning, and I don't. I think the stroke continues. So I'm gonna go. I'll be stroking. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars right there, man. Clarence Rogers.
Nice.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's go. Raiders at the Bears. The Bears.
A- As much as I don't trust that Raiders offense, that what else can you say about that defense led by Max Crosby? For him to end the game last week with a safety, it's just phenomenal. So, uh, the Bears, they're dealing with some injuries, particularly to their running backs. I think that makes the game a little bit harder for Justin Fields if they can't find a way to effectively run the ball and do so consistently. So if Justin Fields has to pass a lot in this game, that means Max Crosby gets the tee off. I think the Raiders do just enough to get by this Bears team. So give me Vegas.
Yeah, I'm going with Vegas here. I don't even think Justin Fields play. He left the game early with a hand injury. He hasn't been practicing this weekend, so he's been listed as doubtful. I doubt they put him out there against that defense with Max Crosby leading the way. I'm not going to go with the Bears here. No Justin Fields, no chance. I'm going Raiders all the way. We got the Browns at the Colts.
This is probably going to sound like I'm such a hater and I'm stinging from my Niners loss last week. But honestly, the way people are talking about it, I feel like that was the Browns Super Bowl. And we've seen it already this year. That emotional letdown after such an amazing, like they put a lot of effort into that game against the 49ers. So now, they're going on the road. No Anthony Richardson, so they think this game might be a little bit of a cakewalk. I think the Colts find a way to run the ball with Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, especially if those guys stay healthy. Because we've talked about it. If Debo didn't go down, if Christian McCaffrey didn't get banged up in that game, the outcome could have been a little bit different, right? I think the Colts find a way to run the ball at home, and I think their defense shows up no matter who the quarterback is. I'm going Colts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Browns here. I think they're gonna ride that hot horse in their defense. Their defense put up and stopped probably one of the more potent offenses in the NFL. Whether it was injury or not, they held that offense to 17 points. I just don't see the Colts offense being anywhere near the magnification of that, even with Zach Moss, even with Jonathan Taylor, who I think is still finding his legs. I think the defense is pretty much spot on. I think they're gonna go ahead, and if they do got to go with PJ Walker again, and they run that screen game, good luck because the Colts are gonna be missing one of their interior defenders who has been suspended for PEDs. So it's gonna be tough. The defense is gonna have a problem possibly with stopping the low powered, and that's a shot at them Browns offense. But I'm gonna go with the Browns here, or whatnot. I think they continue to ride uh the defense. Pause. Bills at Patriots.
Man, listen, I thought the Patriots was going to help me out, figure out a way to get a win over the former coach, former quarterback. This Patriots team does not look good. They can't pass, they can't run. And you mentioned it last week. Injuries to the defense is really hurting them and not allowing Bill Belichick to run what he wants to run. Now the Bills are suffering with some injuries too, some key injuries on that defensive side of the ball. But they still have Josh Allen, they still have Stephon Diggs. That offense is still able to move the ball. I think the Bills are the better team. Patriots can't find a way to get a win right now, so I'm going Bills.
Yeah, their offense for the as far as the Patriots, it continues to find ways to struggle week in and week out. They will be getting some reinforcements back on defense. I believe cornerback Jack Jones will be there. We already talked about J.C. Jackson possibly being ready to go, so they will get some back end help to help kind of neutralize those wide receivers for the Buffalo Bills, who didn't look good against the New York Football Giants. This is going to be a tough one. It's a divisional game. Did they already play and the Bills won already? I feel like they did. I think this is the second one, but I'm gonna go with the Bills here as well. I just don't think the Patriots have what it takes. Might be a closer game, but I still think the Bills find a way to win. So I'm going Bills here. Next up, we got the Commanders at the Giants. Another divisional game.
Yeah, another divisional game. This one was kind of tough for me of which way I wanted to go. Because the Giants did look good at home against a Buffalo Bills team, and the Commanders are a team that is struggling. I have Commanders written down, but I don't know if I want to switch it. I'm a stay Commanders because I feel like uh, they were able to win 3 games. They showed some type of potency on offense, and the defense has the pieces. I feel like this is going to be a close game, possibly a low scoring game. I don't think we see a lot of fireworks in this game, but I think the Commanders find a way to edge it out on the road.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Giants. I gotta go Commanders. There's nothing good to say about the Giants. I don't even know if Daniel Jones is gonna play. They look pretty decent with Tyrod Taylor. They were moving the ball a little bit better. They didn't score too many points on that Bills defense, but they did play the Bills really well defensively. It's weird because which Sam Howell are we gonna get in this game?
Right.
Like he is so on and off. It's really confusing. I'm gonna go with the Commanders since they just seem to have the better team. But being in a divisional game, this one might be tough. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants win, but I'm gonna go Commanders. Falcons at Buccaneers.
I'm going Bucks here. I mean, the Falcons look good in spots. I thought they were going to win at home because they always win at home, and then, of course, they let me down last week. Um, Again, you talked about Sam Howell. What Desmond Ritter are we going to get? Um, but for some reason, I'm more confident in getting a consistent Baker Mayfield who's able to move the ball with that Buccaneers offense. Um, and I think coming off a tough loss last week, they want to rebound themselves. So I'm going Bucks over Falcons.
I like that. And I'm going Bucks as well. I know Baker's dealing with a little injury, but they'll probably try to establish that run game to kind of like help, spread out that defense back there, back them guys up just a little bit, and it'll open up the pass game. I tell you what, you just throw the ball in the air somewhere near Mike Evans' radius, he'll go come down with it, and then they'll get Chris Godwin to kind of like work the middle of the field. or whatever. But I'm gonna go with Bucks there. They just seem to have a nice little connection. I know they're 3-2, but I think they'll be fine at home against the Falcons. Next up, this is probably the first thriller in Manila. We got the 5-1 Lions against the 4-2 Ravens. Okay, Ravens are at home. The Lions are coming east. My brother to the east. Will the Lions go to 6-1, or will the Ravens go to 5-2?
This one is tough. I'm trying to take a look at. If it wasn't for another matchup, I would say this would probably be game of the week. Um, the Lions are an exciting team. They are playing consistent football. Um, the Ravens, while they're 4-2, they haven't looked the best. But this is one of those games where I'll take experience and battle testedness over the Cinderella team that's just hot.
Mm.
And I think the Lions on the road, you know, um, playing against a Ravens team that has Lamar Jackson, who's going to find a way to move the ball not only through the air but on the ground. He's getting Mark Andrews involved. Zay Flowers is doing his thing. And then that Ravens defense, I think, is going to find a way, um, to confuse Jared Goff a little bit. I'm going to go Ravens here. I'm not 100% confident in it. I think this is going to be a great game and one that I'm definitely going to be watching closely. But I'm going to give the Ravens a slight edge being the home team.
Interesting, because I really want to go with the Ravens. So since you chose the Ravens, I'm gonna go the opposite way. The only thing that I'm questioning is the run game for the Detroit Lions with the injury to David Montgomery. Will Jameer Gibbs be that guy? I just feel like the Ravens have a weird running system as well. You do have to attest for Lamar Jackson if he ignites. But I think the Lions are just in sync. They just added another weapon to their arsenal with Jameson Williams, and now he's throwing the ball down the field. I would like to see the matchup, the Ravens safety with Sam Laporta. Like, is that something we should watch
Oh,
out for?
yeah.
Kyle Hamilton over Sam
Kyle
Laporta.
Hamilton versus
Oh,
Laporta. That's
come
crazy.
on, man. Oh man. So listen, this I'm gonna keep it a buck. 1 o'clock. This is the game. Like
Hmm.
1 p.m. This is the game. But I'm gonna go with
Yes,
the
sir.
Lions here. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Now, I mean, Steelers at the Rams.
Ugh. As much as I don't like picking them, um, I think the Rams offensively find a way to get the win here. Um, I just got to think who on that secondary is going to cover Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup. Now, the Rams have some running back issues because Kyron Williams won't be playing. Um, but we know Sean McVay, while he loves to mix in both, he can have a game where it's just all pass. And he'll figure out a way to move the ball and be creative in doing so. Um, Steelers, I'm still not sold in Kenny Pickett. The run game hasn't been effective. Steelers fans will tell you they hate Matt Canada. They hate his offense. They want him out of there. So I'm going with the Rams again, being the home team, and not sold on the Steelers being able to put points on the board.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams here too. I just think that their offense is too high powered, and I know it's weird to say for that Steelers D. And I think the Rams find a way to pull it out at home. Let's go to a divisional matchup between the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Good old NFC West battle. Who you got?
Yeah, unfortunately, somebody has to win here. Um, the Cardinals look like they were able to do some things, but after a couple of losses, and showing that they're really not on par with beating some of the upper echelon teams in the NFL. They just don't have enough pieces offensively and defensively. I think the Seahawks do. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. Geno Smith has been able to spread the ball out with those receivers that he has, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. And I think the defense is going to be able to get after Josh Dobbs enough. Give me the Seahawks at home.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks at home, even though, you know, little man Kyler Murray will be in the building. He's back at practice. He won't be playing this week. This may be the last time we see Dobbs, or if the game really gets out of hand, could we potentially see Kyler Murray? We'll see what happens with that type of situation. But look, I just think the Seahawks are just a better team. And it's gonna be a nice. It's probably gonna be a close game. Like I wouldn't be surprised, but think Kenneth Walker the third is going to be a little bit too much for this Cardinals defense. You can run on this defense, and the Seahawks will try to attest and force that run game to get going, to get Geno Smith out in the open to make quick, easy throws. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. We got the Packers at the Broncos.
I looked at his stats, and for some reason, statistically, Russ isn't having a bad season.
No,
I think he's got over 1,000 yards.
just
He's
looks
got 12
bad.
touchdowns to
Makes
only
bad
four
decisions.
interceptions.
Yeah,
But it just looks bad. And if you
looks really
think
bad.
12 touchdowns to four interceptions, what is that? 4-1, 3-1 ratio? Like that's not
Mhm.
bad.
Three, but
Um,
just
so
looks
it's confusing me because what we see with our eyes isn't what the numbers are telling us. And
bad. Gotcha.
selfishly, I want them to continue to lose because I need our 49ers to pick up the phone and make a trade for Pat Surtain. But that again, that's just me being selfish. But if I'm looking at this game and I'm looking at this Packers defense, even if they struggle to move the ball offensively, I think the defense is tough enough and good enough to find a way to, no matter what his stat line looks like, make Russell Wilson look bad again, confuse him, make him make bad decisions. And then I feel like they can do enough, with the running game. Um, Jordan Love, again, he's inconsistent as well, but I think they find a way to do enough to get a win on the road. I'm going Packers.
Yeah, I think for Jordan Love, the inconsistencies come due to the fact that they just don't have their starting running back. And even when you go with AJ Dillon, I mean, he's the guy that used to come in. He's the bruiser back, the goal line back, the short down and distance back. He looked pretty dang good against the Raiders being the all-purpose back, but that he's not that. They did pick up James Robinson, so James Robinson might be getting some touches in this particular game. We'll see how that plays out. I just don't think the Broncos have anything enough that they look good. They can't run the ball. They're forced to throw the ball. And a lot of those stats are padded stats, in my opinion, most for Russell Wilson, because they're just always playing from behind and trying to figure out ways to come back or to keep the game close or whatever. So yeah, his numbers look good, but the record is not good. I'm gonna go with the Packers here on the road. We got three more games to get to. The Chargers at the Chiefs, AFC West showdown. Mose, who you with?
This is probably another runner up for game of the week. The Chargers always seem to play good against the Chiefs. However, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. And even when the Chargers play well against them, the Chiefs find a way to get a win. Chargers, hopefully Austin Eckler is a little bit more healthy and a little bit more game ready, and he can have more of effect on this game than he did versus the Cowboys. And the defense played well against the Cowboys, but then again, it is the Cowboys. So I take that with a grain of salt. Um, but with all that said, I think Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, and unfortunately, we have to add in Taylor Swift. I feel like the three that big three gets it done, and the Chiefs come home with the W.
When you said that they unfortunately they were have to gonna add, I didn't think that you were gonna say Taylor Swift. I thought you were gonna say that they have to add back in McCole Hardman, who the Jets are trading back to the Chiefs. Hardman and Mahomes, thank you for fantasy
Yeah,
purposes.
I don't know why they let him go.
You can tell that
But
that is the biggest.
trading back for him,
Yeah,
I think that speaks volumes to the receiving core,
it
and
it
what they
does.
thought they were going to get from Kadarius Tony. I can admit I was wrong. I thought that with the way he played in the Super Bowl, that coming back this season, that Kadarius Tony would have a bigger role and a much bigger impact. But that first game, it looked like that was the plan,
It was.
and
He couldn't execute.
he didn't produce.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's just been downhill, downhill from there. And it's just like he just hasn't gotten into the good graces of Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and figured out a way to, get back in those good graces. So them trading for me, Cole Hartman, that speaks a lot to, his inability to kind of take hold of that starting wide receiver spot and be the guy that they can count on in that offense.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs here. As much as I want to go with the Chargers, Justin Herbert, like he can't make the mistakes that he made the other night against the Cowboys. And I
Yep.
feel like he'll make those same mistakes against this tough defensive front from the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going Chiefs there. Game of the week.
Mm.
Sunday night football will be glorified television. Everybody will be tuned in from their cars, their hot boxes, showers, whatever. They're gonna be into this game. It's the red hot offense of the Miami Dolphins and the ice cold offense of the Eagles, but the defense is still playing well enough because that team is 5-1, two 5-1 teams. They go at it. Mose, who you with?
This is going to be a dynamite football game. I think if there's one thing um, that doesn't bode well for the Dolphins is that the Eagles lost and that Jalen Hurts had a bad game with 3 interceptions and one costly interception at the end of that game that really cost them the game and put the Jets in position to get the go ahead touchdown. So knowing him and knowing how he plays, he's going to play with a different fire and a different motivation this week. With that said, this Miami Dolphins offense is prolific. What Mike McDaniel has done with this team in a short amount of time is special. And one of the things that is an Achilles heel for this Eagles defense is that secondary. So they brought in Julio Jones, but they didn't bring in any reinforcements for the back end, those corners and those safeties. And you got to deal with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And if the offensive line can find a little crease to let Raheem Mostert go crazy, you're talking about speed on speed on speed. With that said, I got to go with the Dolphins, man. I think they do enough on offense. And I think the Eagles right now are struggling in that area. Um, Shane Steichen, I think he was had a lot to do with the success of this Eagles offense because I think you saw that when he was with the Colts and what he was starting to do with Anthony Richardson before the injury. So new offensive coordinator, still trying to find the rhythm, still trying to get all the pieces together. Um, I think we have an offense that's just high powered. And as much as the Eagles try to stop it, I don't think it's enough. So give me the Dolphins Sunday night.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I don't want to pick the Eagles 'cause I don't want them to be 6-1, but I do think their defense will be stout enough to put a little plug into this Dolphins high-powered offense because they have a guy named Hassan Reddick who's going to make Tua welcome to the NFL, to the NFC, to the city of Philadelphia. Just welcome, my brother. Welcome. Tua has not been hit yet or been tested yet. You saw what the Buffalo Bills defense did to the Miami Dolphins. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles may be able to do something in particular. I know the Eagles are struggling in the secondary with the injuries to Darius Slay or whatnot, but I just feel like this Eagles defense is going to come and punch them in the mouth. They get a young kid named Nakobe Dean back. He's going to provide speed off the edge as well. We're going to see. So I'm going to go with the defense trumps the offense in this particular matchup. I've watched it before. It happened to the 49ers last week. I'm thinking it's going to happen to the Miami Dolphins this week. Speaking of 49ers, Monday Night Football, Niners at Vikings. The Niners, will they bounce back and redeem themselves?
1000%. Um, hearing our team leader speak, hearing Fred Warner say, he walked in the locker room and everybody was down. Everybody was at their lockers, head down. And he said, but that's a good thing. He said, because we're not used to losing. We haven't lost all season. The last time we lost was the NFC Championship game, and we know why we lost that game. But before that, we weren't used to losing. So we are not a team that is used to losing, and nobody likes that feeling.
I-
So now that we've had that feeling, I think we go on another run, and it starts Monday night because we don't want to feel that way again. Same kind of sentiment from Eric Armstead. We didn't do what we needed to do to win.
Mhm.
But that game is over. We're going to go back in the lab, watch the film, make corrections, and we have another opportunity on Monday night to put good film out there to get us back on the right track. Uh, I think even with the loss, this team is focused. We know what the goal is, and we know what we have to do to get there. And this Vikings team that cannot run the ball offensively, and it has a defense that is also struggling. While they do have some good pieces, Daniil Hunter, Harrison Smith, things of that nature. Again, I don't think this team has enough for what we're going to bring, and that's even if we don't have CMC or Debo, even though things are trending in the right direction. I think this team is motivated and ready to bounce back from a tough loss. That even how tough it was, it could have been a win had we made a kick. Give me the Niners Monday night.
Yeah, it's Niners for me. Um, I don't think there's going to be a week I don't pick the 49ers, but after coming off of that loss, after being real hot-headed, I think, more importantly, the loss that they suffered, I think it was more like all the stuff about the blame game. Like, was it the kicker's fault? Was it this fault? And when you got certain players come out and says, nah, it was all our fault. Like, we couldn't do this. We couldn't do that. And then I don't even think the players gave credits to the Browns. Like, that's the funny part. Like, I don't think they was like, yo, credit to maybe Fred did credit to the Browns defense, but no, like the Niners realized they made 12 penalties, 12 mistakes, 12 this, 12 that. They'll fix it, they'll correct it, they'll get back into the winning column and get ready, NFL, because the Niners are coming for that Lombardi. And it's gonna be a crazy quiet storm. I can feel it. I can feel it. Mose, that was fun, man. I think I got two against yours, and so we'll see what happens. Uh,
Three.
three. I picked three. I know. Okay, you got it. You wrote it
You
down.
got
I'm not gonna argue with you. You got it.
you got
I picked.
Browns.
I picked the
You
Eagles, the
got
Browns.
Lions and Eagles.
All right, there it is, man. Hopefully, I could catch up. Jeez, seven,
Yeah. So
seven.
last week we had three differences, and I went 2-1. So
Mhm.
this week we got three differences, and we'll see how
Hopefully,
we
I
do
could
with
go
those
two on
three.
one. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Pigskin Picks Week 7, baby. We'll be back for Week 8. Enjoy Week 7 of football. We'll see you next week. Peace.